Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Space Between. My name is Zach Eichels, and I'll be your host for today. Today, we're joined by
Rachel Horst. I'm the Public Information Officer for Brevard County Emergency Management, and I've been here for about 2 years, so let's talk a little bit about what we do.
Cool. All right, so first question. What is the role of Brevard County Emergency Management? How does it serve the county?
So most of our community knows us as the hurricane people, but we also respond to any number of disasters. We activate for rocket launches to make sure that there are no anomalies, and if there are, we can help our citizens and residents get through those. But we also activate for tornadoes, all those weather events. We help our cold weather shelter folks get that information out to our residents, so we really support the community as best we can in all different emergency scenarios.
Got it. So can you tell us about the brand new Emergency Operations Center that we're in? It's pretty impressive, especially compared to the older one.
So we were previously in a bunker, a defense era bunker that opened its doors in 1964.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot smaller. And as we have grown as a community and as a population, we needed a little bit more space. That was also upgraded in 1999, but in the times that we're currently in and with our current needs, we needed a little more technology as well as a little more space. So this building, the new Emergency Operations Center, has really been a labor of love and something that we've needed for a long time and a big effort over many years, and we're really glad to be in this building now. We went from about 58 seats on the operations floor to now we have about 152.
Oh, wow.
So we tripled about in size in a lot of different ways. We also have a cafeteria to provide our staff and our partners somewhere to eat during activations. And we also have some training rooms that convert to bunk rooms, so we have more of an option for people to sleep, a better location for that. So it's really about supporting this staff and our partners that are supporting our residents and our visitors.
That's awesome. Congratulations. The building does look incredible.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's a lot brighter. We have some windows now.
It is, yes. There are very nice windows. Does every county have their own Emergency Operations Center, or is ours unique in any way?
Every county should have their own, but what we have, we are one of the most activated emergency operations centers in the state and also in the country. Because we are the Space Coast, we have a rocket launch on average every 3 days, just about. So this is something that is going to be used a lot. We don't always fill this floor, especially not for rocket launches, but during a hurricane activation or during a large-scale emergency, we will be able to have the space for our partners and our staff in here.
Very cool. Is Brevard's Emergency Operations Center really the most activated in the entire country?
It definitely is one of the most. We kind of ebb and flow a little bit with some of the other ones. New York is one that is also activated quite frequently. But for rocket launches, one of the things we prepare for is not only an anomaly with the aircraft itself or the launch craft, but we're looking at the impact to our infrastructure. So that can be our roads, those, when we have something like Artemis, a lot of people come into our area. We work closely with our partners at tourism to see how many people we might be expecting. We operate with our Florida Department of Transportation folks and our Public Works folks that are monitoring our roadways, the county-operated ones, and also, FDOT with those state ones to see where those hiccups might be occurring and how we can help support that. It's also emergency response. So not only it's traffic jams, but if something were to happen and a first responder needed to get out there, how could we help support that scenario?
So in terms of hazard situations, the public is most probably familiar with hurricanes, as you kind of alluded to. But what are the other types of situations that you guys deal with besides the hurricanes, rockets, and everything?
So, we do, like you said, we have hurricanes. We also respond to all sorts of those natural or weather disasters. So we've had 2 tornadoes since I've been here. We've also had a hailstorm. We activate for those. We also are a host county for the St. Lucie nuclear power plant. And so that is another partnership through the county system that we support anything that might happen anomaly-wise or, radioactive-wise with that scenario. Another big thing is in the COVID pandemic, we responded and were a huge part of getting out of testing sites, of getting the vaccine out. So it kind of runs the gamut on all the different things. We just want to make sure that we're protecting our residents and visitors.
So what prompts the Emergency Operations Center to actually become activated? Are there different levels of activation? Like, how does that work?
We do have 3 different levels of activation in what we call blue skies. The daily we are at a level 3, and so that's a monitoring situation. For level 2, that's a little more elevated. It's a little more enhanced monitoring. We're maybe starting to communicate with some of those partners. And then for level 1, that's when we have an impending storm coming directly at us type situation. So there are some triggers that set those, and again, we just always have plans and operations and preparation. And we're starting to communicate with our partners regularly, and then we just enhance that as it goes through.
Got it. So what is Brevard County Emergency Manager's role in issuing evacuations or sending out weather-related watches and warnings? Who takes care of all that?
So the weather alerts come from our partners at the National Weather Service, but we do have our Alert Brevard system. So when our residents sign up for that, you can also elect to get those weather alerts from NWS in that platform. So we use our partnerships and our those systems to deliver those messages to them. But for an evacuation, or when we're talking sheltering, that is something that is determined by emergency management, and the decision makers are our county leadership, and we're working again with those community partners depending on an incident and seeing what needs to be done.
How many different organizations and entities do you guys actually work with on a day-to-day basis? It sounds like this room is tons of signage with different organizations.
It's huge. We have a lot of these lovely little green cards. We work with a lot of partners across the county and at the state and national level as well. So we have these lovely green cards, and we have a bunch of different ESFs, or emergency support functions, that we partner with in this room. One of our biggest partners that we work with on a daily basis, even in this building, is the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. Their Unified Communication Center is in a portion of this building. So we have a daily communication with them. They provide those dispatch emergency response answering for our community. But, we've talked about the Florida Department of Transportation. We, of course, work closely with the Florida Division of Emergency Management. We also have some of our local partners here. So any of our 16 municipalities we're working closely with as well. So it just depends on the incident, what's happening, and how we can support.
Nice. And many residents wonder, when do the causeways actually close? Can you answer that question for us once and for all?
So when it comes to causeways, we want to make sure that our residents and visitors know they're provided every opportunity to get off our barrier islands. We don't close them prior to a storm coming. However, there does come a time in the storm's progress where it's no longer safe to be on our roadways, and that includes our causeways especially. So what we do our best to do is communicate with our residents early and often and encourage them to be in their shelter, their safe location, as early as possible before those even winds start to impact us.
So it's kind of a leave at your own risk over the causeways kind of thing, but they're not closed.
They're not closed, and again, we want everyone to be in their shelter in place location far before the arrival time of winds.
Yes. And then the last question, if people want to learn more about what you do here, where should they go? How should they stay up to date?
The best thing to do is go to our website at www.embrevard.com. They can find the different steps to preparedness. That's, knowing your risk. That's how to build a kit and what to include in that kit. That's how to have a plan and who to plan for. It's staying informed. One of the biggest things our residents and visitors can do is stay informed and sign up for emergency notifications from Brevard County Emergency Management. So we have a general text feature where you can text the word Brevard EOC to the number 888-777, and that signs you up for general county-wide stuff. But we also have the Alert Brevard feature that you can go to from our website and sign up. And those are location-based alerts, especially when it comes to weather scenarios, and that's the best way to get the information from us. You can follow us on Facebook, on X, and also on Nextdoor. Make sure you signed up for that. And then the other thing is get involved. So when you are all prepared in your household, you have your plan, you have your kit, also share that with your neighbors, share that with your family. We want to build a culture of preparedness here in Brevard.
Well, thank you so much. That was awesome. And thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you next time on another episode of The Space Between. you.